Hi everyone, welcome to Amplify 2025. We're super excited to have you all over here. Welcome to your first session. I would love to introduce our wonderful hosts that you guys can see on your screen. Anira and Shevlak from AutoLeap Digital Marketing. Shevlak is our director and Anira is our manager. And I'm super excited for them to today talk about marketing your auto repair shop. So get ready for some amazing stuff and everything that you need to know about marketing. I think let's get started, guys. Over to you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Hats on and your coffees because we're right here to kick things off for our mains where hear lots of buzzwords regarding marketing. And one does get unsure about what to do and what to prioritize. And so thoughts like these inspired this particular session. Joelle, what do you think?
Absolutely. And for to answer that and to make sure that we are covering it, we have a lineup that's super exciting prepared. So first, we will talk about websites and search engine optimization, what they are and how to do them right. The second topic that we have for today, which is my favorite part of marketing, it's Google Ads, how to run them and make them actually worth it for mechanic shop owners. We will also talk about social media and how to use it to shop owners or shops advantage. And finally, how a good marketing engine and support works and how Autoleap can assist if you want to.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so your marketers for today are myself, Anita Farid, and my team member, Shavelk. I have, with 3 years, just dedicated to auto ideas, and I love working with data-driven results. And one of my greatest inspiration at work is Shavelk, who's not just a Harvard graduate, but also has amazing insights on SEO, pay-per-click ads, and socials. And I'm really excited to actually walk through some great ideas here today. Let
I would love if people can text on the chat from where are you watching. I would love to know in which cities you guys are,
Please
and
share your
then we can
cities
go
here
on.
in the webinar chat, and most importantly, feel free to pop in questions through the session, and perhaps towards the end we can go over a couple. So today, one of our most important themes is the power of online presence. We're living in 2025 where digital is practically everywhere. And really, what does it mean that digital is powerful, right? I have a question for all of you, perhaps that would shed some light on this. How many business cards have you handed out this year? And maybe you can pop in the number here on the chat. Hundreds, thousands, maybe. Now, think about how many people have searched for your services online. Exactly. A website is 24/7 business card that reaches hundreds and perhaps thousands for all of you. That just goes on to show how important a website, which is your digital storefront, how important that is. There is data to prove that 75% of consumers judge a business's credibility based purely on its website. And there's a fairly recent study which came up with that percentage. A modern, easy to navigate website definitely builds trust. Think about your own approach when it comes to finding the right business for you. If I were to ask you to find the flower shop or the best flower shop in your area, before really sharing their name, you're likely to just open up your phones and Google it up, right? It's common behavior, almost intuitive. And so with that in mind, you need to think about how your customers are behaving. Local visibility for you, it's crucial. you need to be convincing through this online presence that you can build exactly through a website. And if you already have one, we have a couple of must-haves that work really well for any website. We're sharing almost our cheat sheet here. So in case you want a screenshot, now's a great time to take that up, because a good website, it needs to be mobile friendly. The majority of users, they use their phone to really visit a website. And in the auto repair shop industry, it's even more intense. The other thing is you need to have ease of contact. So whether it's through contact buttons or online booking forms, you need to give that avenue to your customers. Clear info, let's make things simple. That's what we all like. And then optimization for relevant keywords. That's something that Chevelle will talk about in more detail. And then finally, apart from information, your website basically just needs to be fast and efficient. A slow site loses customers like that. So, and we definitely don't want that. Now, Chevelle, imagine a customer that hears about anyone's shop, but they can't find their website. What do they do next? Like, what does a customer do in a situation when they can't find one? Well, there are two scenarios. Either they keep, then the second most obvious option is they click on a competitor with a great website and basically book with them. We don't want that. Bottom line, you need to rank higher.
Absolutely. None of us wants our clients, or maybe they were even clients that we had in the past that can't find us online, and then they just book with someone else who claims to be the best once they can't find us. So that's the reason why SEO matters. And I think it matters a lot. SEO stands for search engine optimization. And this is how Google ranks or weights the things that we do in a website, and then decides, or engineers, how to show a website first than the other one, how to locate or organize the way they are showing the different websites. So one example of SEO, it's when I write down on Google, brake repair near me. The first ones that I see are the ones with the best SEO that Google wants to show first. Same thing happens when I type down best auto shop in Toronto, which is where I'm at. I will see the ones that have the best SEO. So if I'm a shop without SEO, I'm not working on any SEO, I'm not doing that on a regular basis, I may show up on page 3 of Google, where no one will ever looks. And there's like a joke or a saying between marketers where we say, if you want to hide a body, hide it on page 2 or 3 of Google, because no one will ever find it. When I'm looking for the best repair shop in my city, of course I won't keep scrolling for 5 minutes until I find one that I will click on. I will click on the first ones, and I'm sure the same thing happens to all of you. So some details about SEO. First, when I have more visibility, when more people, if you can go back to the previous one, when I have more visibility, when more people are seeing my website, my name, I will have more traffic. And 75% of people never go to the next page. The other thing is that when I have several things that mention my shop, when I have a consistent phone number, a consistent address, Google favors that. The next thing is that when I rank higher, people tend to think, and I'm a little bit guilty of that one, that you are the real deal, that you are trustworthy, because I mean you are the first one to show up, so you should be, it should be true. And Google also favors people with a bunch of Google positive reviews, so they care a lot about that. So from there, we built a tiny SEO cheat sheet. So if you are taking a screenshot, a picture of this, I would say this is a slide to do so. So I'm gonna smile so I can look good on this photo. So for SEO, some things that are like very important. First, core web vitals. And what does this mean? The speed of the website. When someone clicks on a website and the page doesn't load immediately, very quickly, we tend to think, oh, it doesn't work. And then we go back and click on the next one. The next thing is the technical SEO. And an easy way of understanding this, I imagine you all have visited websites where it says, this website it's not secure. Are you sure you want to continue? Do you really want to visit this website? This might have a virus, or this is not secure, or we can't recognize it. Usually when we see that, we just go back and don't continue there. And Google waits a lot on that. If your page is not secure, then they won't be showing you on the first places. The next thing, it's on page SEO, and this is which words are we using in our page? How are we making the questions? How much are we mentioning the city where we are at? Are we talking about brakes repairs? Are we talking about tire changes? Are we talking about winter tires? Or what are the things we are trying to rank for? The next thing is content and blogging. Having blogs answering questions that our clients may have, it's also weighted very high. And finally, link building, how many other websites that are trustworthy are mentioning me or mentioning my site. Something that we do a lot, it's mention or do some articles about our shops that are doing marketing with us from the AutoLeap site that has a very good domain. So Google knows this is a real thing because AutoLeap is mentioning them as an expert in their area or things like that. And the last one, which I love, it's GMB or Google My Business Optimization. So for Google My Business, and we can go to the next one. When I say Google My Business or Google Business Profile, I'm talking about exactly what you can see on the screen. So these are those listings where we have the name of the commerce or in this case, the shop. We have how many reviews they have, their address, their hours of operation, phone number, and all of their basic information. So with Google business profiles, what we do is that we show directions. So if I want to show for the keyword, let's say mechanics near me, I need to have a well-optimized Google business profile. And one example of a result we were able to get to one of our clients was we got them a 19.2% increase in traffic within just 1 month of starting their Google business profile optimization. So I really like the fact that we can get results fairly quickly with Google business profiles.
1 second there, Shavat, for the slight technical issue that we're facing. Just pulling up the screen.
No worries.
2 seconds.
So something else that we try to talk about, it's how to get rankings or what have we done with some of our clients. And one example on that, it's an EV repair shop. And maybe Anir can tell you all more about what were the results we were able to get for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. So when it comes to SEO, it's really important to actually tailor your strategy based on the niches that exist in auto repair. Case in point, our customer that wanted to rank at the top just for EV repair. And that meant our team actually came up with the right set of keywords that targeted this specific service. And with the right kind of tailored content, we were able to help them rank at the top for Tesla repair in the area, as well as electrical vehicle repair in the area. Just something to think about as you dive into SEO for your own services as well.
Absolutely. So to get an improved online presence compared to all of the competitors, I think one question or one big question is to know if we are being fast enough. So there are two ways of getting shown on Google. These two ways are one, SEO, which is what I've been talking about. SEO can be considered as the slow lane. It gets us long-term results. And then we have Google Ads, which I mentioned earlier that it's my favorite part. And Google Ads, it's considered as the the fast lane. It can get us instant results. So for that, I would like to talk a little bit about the differences between one and the other. So Google Ads, it's when we search for something on Google, the first two results that we see are paid ads, are Google Ads or pay-per-click, and they say a sponsored or ad in there. So Google Ads, some of the characteristics are, if I pay, I can get results. As soon as I stop paying, I will stop getting the results. With SEO, it's something that will take me some time to build, but even if I'm not like I don't need to be paid to keep having it. So let's say with Google Ads, if you guys decide, yes, Chabel, I want to do ads with you, I can get you a client by Tuesday next week, just the time that it will take me to set up the campaign. However, with SEO, I can assure you that we will get results by July, because we need several months for Google to understand that this website is a real thing, that it's working well. Something else, it's that the position on Google with Google Ads, I will always rank higher than with just SEO. And then something that I really like about Google Ads, it's that we can be very precise about the targeting. With SEO, everyone will see me, even people that aren't serious about buying or that aren't willing to spend money. With Google Ads, I can filter out those characteristics, and I can make sure that I'm showing up for the people that I want to show up for.
Absolutely.
So with Google Ads, we can get immediate visibility. So I can be the first one right away. I can have a targeted reach, and I can get measurable results, which means I can see people from which area are calling more, are converting more, are willing to pay more. So again, if you were to screenshot something, this would be a good time. So the Google Ads checklist, when we are doing Google Ads, some of the things that we need to make sure are that we are setting up the account and the campaign, that we are doing the necessary keyword research, and that we have ad copies, call to actions that work, that we are using the correct budget and bidding strategy. So for the budget, I'm gonna offer you all something. So if you want to know how much your competitors are spending in your city, I will show you a little QR code later on. So just fill it out and say, I want to know how much my competitors are bidding in XYZ city, and we can tell you how much they are bidding, so you can know how much should your budget be. Then call tracking and performance monitoring, which is we can listen to the calls that we get from clients. And then landing page optimization, which is where are we sending people when they click on an ad. And finally, ongoing optimization and testing, because it's not just a set and forget. And
Absolutely.
we have a good example that Anira can tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, because all the cool stuff that Chevelle mentioned when it comes to ads is, it's not just a set up and forget approach. Google Ads require constant monitoring. And, this also reminds me of one of our customers that came to us back in 2024, where they had no website, no domain, no GMB profile, and very limited brand recognition online. So our approach was to actually get them across these avenues and run highly targeted Google ad campaigns. What that resulted in was massive visibility on local search results for tire-related searches, because that's something that they wanted to focus on. Now, we would have gotten these results through SEO, but we didn't have that much time to really, wait and see. So when we started looking for immediate results, but the right kind of results, we not only got them a 2.5x of ROI on Google Ads, but also higher search rankings, because now they were ranking #2 for key tire and auto service keywords in the area.
That's amazing. And I really love to hear about these results and how much these shop owners can see what we do with marketing and what's done with marketing. So another piece of the puzzle in terms of Google Ads, it's the ad monitoring and tracking. And a huge part of that, it's the call tracking that I just mentioned. So we use call tracking softwares. That way we can listen to all of the calls that our shops get. And one example, and then we have several like that, it's that a shop owner was running ads with us, and they were getting a bunch of calls, but the business was still slow. So we tried to figure out what was going on. With call tracking, we together, like us together with the shop owner, were able to identify missed opportunities. So many times the calls would go unanswered. And then sometimes people would be calling, asking about, let's say, another shop or a shop I saw in this corner. And instead of trying to convert them and tell them, I do it but better, or I've been in business for X amount of years, they were like, oh no, we aren't located there, good luck, bye. So they were actually losing business opportunities. And one last thing was, sometimes the advisors would leave the clients waiting for a very long time until they would just hang up the phone. So this was very, very insightful for the shop owner, and we learn about those things on a regular basis. So I would highly recommend, if anyone is running Google Ads for their shop, to use a call tracking software, because when you can listen to the calls, there's so much that you can fix and make better. So now that we understand more about ads, maybe Anira can tell us a little bit about how social media should work for job owners.
Absolutely. So I heard this talk about being there on socials, right? What does it mean to be on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok? Maybe even Yelp. Shavak always brings this up, think of social media as your digital real estate. Now, the more valuable assets you build online, the stronger your presence and visibility. And so from followers to customers, how do you get there? We're going to be talking about specific kind of social media posts and the motivations behind them. By the way, like all that you see here is stuff that our team came up with depending on the requirements of our customers. One is, when talking about motivations behind social media posts, one is building trust and credibility. Customers feel more confident choosing a shop with an active social presence. And so your social posts should be customized and not just not just like generic stuff picked off from the internet. They need to speak to your customer. Another aspect, while you're talking about customized social posts, is being regular. And you'd be surprised how big of a challenge that can be when you're busy repairing cars and helping people out. You possibly need a person or even a team to make sure that you're consistently, publishing on socials. Could we go on to the next motivation? Yes, engaging social posts. Now, interestingly, when it comes to posting, it's on social media, it's not just about publishing and you're done. No, it's about starting conversations, because you need to encourage customers to tag, comment, share, because those are the things that are going to increase your word of mouth for your business, and it's going to get you more visibility. Yes, and so our favorite section, yet again, is the cheat sheet, or rather the pro tips that we've compiled just for socials. Again, if you want to screenshot this, do that, because we've seen this do wonders for our customers. And whether it's about planning or publishing, make sure you're consistent. Make sure your content is engaging people and not boring them. Optimize every post. And I know this may seem like a lot, but you'd be surprised how adding the relevant hashtag or call to action, like, hey, call us, or like, hey, visit us, how little details like those can actually, do wonders for you. Social media now is smarter than before, so make sure you basically are aware of all that the platforms require. Now, whether it's socials, Google Ads, or SEO websites, one thing's certain: better online presence is gonna lead to better shop growth. It's a simple equation there. But I also, at the same time, I have this pressing question, and maybe Cheval can help us answer this. What do we prioritize? Where do we begin? Because there is so much to consider when it comes to marketing an auto repair shop.
So I think that's one of the most important questions that we will be answering in today's session. And I would be happy to tell you what I tell the new shops that reach out to us or that we speak to, what I learned from Harvard and what I've seen from experience. But I will do that right after everyone helps us filling out this 1 minute survey. So it's just 3 questions. It took us 25 and 32 seconds to fill out. So just it will take you nothing. So just scan it and you can reply to it. And maybe Anira, you can share the link as well on the chat, the link of the survey, so they can also enter that way. So if you are interested, and the reason why I'm asking this, I'm just asking your name, your shop name, and if you want to know how much your competitors are spending in your city, just write it down there. If you want to know who are the ones that are ranking higher, just text it right there. And I will make sure that our team reaches out to you and let you know what's going on in your city and how much you should be spending on ads, how much, what you should be doing in terms of SEO. Who are the ones that are ranking first in your city? So just fill it out and I'll make sure we get you this information. Everyone who fills this one out, we will also be sending out a cheat sheet playbook that we created that works for our clients. So we will be also sending that one out. So without further ado, I'll answer what Anira asked. So let's say a shop comes to me or comes to us and says, so you talk about 1,000 things. So you talk about website, the speed, SEO, Google My Business, Google Ads, social media. I have nothing. So how do you suggest I go about it? I will say step one, and I would say two things in the first step would be to create a GMB, which is a Google My Business profile, and a website, because it's a must to at least being there. So I need to have some sort of presence. I need to exist online. I would start with the GMB profile because this can be created quickly. I can start working on my GMB today, and maybe it will take me around a week to have it ready and set up, because Google will send me a letter to confirm that my address is real, that I am actually a business, and also the website. It's extremely, extremely important to have a functional website. And I've been surprised with the amount of shop owners that don't have a website yet and are amazing at what they do. So how many clients are you missing? And then going back to what Anira mentioned, if a client can't find you, then they will go to the next one. And we need to avoid that at all costs. We aren't in like the best times for business necessarily. So we need to make sure that we are doing all the right things to make sure that the business that there is, we get it. The next thing I would do after I have a GMB profile and a website, it's work on search engine optimization or SEO. Make sure that my website can be found. That when people search for whatever I do, it's maybe brakes repair, maybe it's fleet, maybe tire changes, that I show up and that I am working to get to the first places. This is very important. It's called earned media or earned recognition, because even though it takes time, once you get it, it's hard to be taken away from you. So it's something that once you work for it, it's yours to keep. So I would work on that. If my plan is to grow, and if I want to get more clients and I want to get a sustained flow or inflow of new clients, I would 1000% go and do Google Ads. With Google Ads, I can get, it depends on what I want, but it can be 5 more clients a month, or it can be 20 more clients a month, or it can be 50 more clients a month. so I can control that, and I think this is a superpower. So Google Ads for me, it's like a magic wand for marketing. And because we understand how marketing for mechanic shops work, we can kind of budget for how many clients X amount of money can get. And the last thing, because I think it's good, but it's more of a nice to have, I would work on socials and social media. The more engaging, the best. And something that I really like is that when you have socials, Google Ads, search engine optimization, a GMB, when people Google you, they will see you in a like 1,000 different places. So they will see your Instagram, your website, your Google My Business profile, your Google Ads. So people will be like, oh, these guys are the best ones, probably. And this is what some mechanics necessarily the best ones are doing. And that's why they're getting a bunch of the clients.
I think this
So
is so cool to know because at the end of the day, a lot of us have limited resources or time. And then the big question really is, what do you prioritize? So thank you for sharing that, Chevelle. I think this is super useful.
absolutely. So I wanted to quickly share with you some of the comments that our customers have said about us. And maybe Anir can help me with some and we can divide them. But I will start with I have been getting a lot of compliments on that website. This is for a client where for whom we build a website. He had a website prior to that. And it let's say it wasn't necessarily the best. So the one that we built together really worked out for him. Another one, it's everything's been great, no complaints at all. We get probably at least 10 calls a day from our ad running over other shops. So they have gotten very, very busy. And this shop, I think it's the one that has a competitor very close to them, and they can see the difference between what's going on with their shop and what is going on with the competitor.
One of my favorites, though, Shavak, is the one that said we've seen a 30% increase in revenue. Our numbers have almost doubled if you think about it. So that's a lot. And I think numbers speak louder than anything.
I absolutely agree. And I also like the comments that talk about the way we work with people. And this one says, with the changing landscape, you can sure trust AutoLeap's marketing team to have your family's best interest at heart. So both Anira and I, we take what we do extremely serious. We understand that in the majority of the cases, shops or business owners are putting their job that it's how they feed their families, the education of their kids in our hands. So we take it extremely seriously, and for us we get even more excited than the shop owners get when we have good results, because for us this is real. We're helping them grow and keep their businesses. It's really cool when we see businesses that are somewhat struggling, and after doing ads and doing all things marketing, we see them happy and with getting a bunch of clients, and that's huge for us. So Anira, can you explain a little bit of the services that we have inside AutoLeap Marketing Services?
Absolutely. So the pyramid that Shavak showed, we basically do all of that. But in terms of, say, a checklist or a bucket list, here are a couple. So we take responsibility for web development and hosting, something that a lot of vendors do already, but we cater specifically to auto repair shops. We also do search engine optimization, and that is a huge umbrella that we cover because it means on-page as well as off-page optimizations. We've got a whole range of services, and we don't have blanket strategies, so that's something to think about. We also have CRM integrated appointments because at the end of the day, we have the advantage of working with a premium software, and that means making sure that we work very closely with, the flow of information into the software and outside of it. I think it's great the way we accomplish that. Apart from that, I think marketing is a lot about content design and curation. So our team's fluent when it comes to these tactics. Apart from that, we do business profile optimization. This probably makes more sense to you now that Chevelle's shown you a couple of business profiles that we've optimized. Google Ads, obviously, and under this umbrella, we obviously focus majorly on PPC ads, but we also do display ads and the latest formats that are out there. With any good service, you need to track and report. So that's almost a separate engine that we have in-house. And we're happy to track and report to everything that we're doing. Upon special requests, we do social media and Yelp. And if, depending on your needs and your goals, if you require extra content or extra plugins, our team is pretty tech savvy to take care of that. And we're happy to dive into that.
And Anira, can you mention some examples of like plugins that we have worked with?
Absolutely. So when it comes to plugins, these could vary. If it's the case of an entirely new, say, reviews plugin that you require on a website, we can get that and integrate that. If it's a matter of plugging in a buy and sell as well as search widget altogether, we can work with that. We have a couple of customers that have signed up for Tire Connect and other big names in the industry, and we're always happy to coordinate with third parties to make sure that your website has those fancy plugins and the latest stuff that's out there. A lot of times customers want the ability to integrate an AI web chat. So we work with names like Podium and others to make sure that such kind of widgets are in there as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Anira. I was wondering if anyone had any additional questions. You can type them on the chat.
Absolutely.
And if not, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. If you have any questions, you can leave them here. I will share again the 1-minute survey link so you can leave us any questions that you have there, and I can make sure that the team gets back to you answering those, or you can leave them in the chat and I'll do the same. Thank you so much, everyone, and I hope all of the assistants that I can see there have a good website, great GMV profile, and you are the first ones to show up on Google, and I'll be definitely following you all on social media. So thank you, everyone, for your assistance. And then there are several more Amplify conferences. So this is literally just getting started.
Absolutely. So I hope you're just hopping on from one interesting session to another, because that's what this day is all about.
I'm super excited about the session with the former president CEO of GM. I'm super excited about that one.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, guys. Honestly, this was such an amazing session. I personally absolutely love marketing, and you guys just literally made it so simple, so easy. Absolutely loved it, all the tips, and I'm pretty sure that our attendees enjoyed it really well. So, guys, if you have any questions, you guys can pour in the chat below. And thank you so much, Shevlik and Anira, once again for such an amazing, informative, and super fun session.
Perfect. So everyone has, I think, 10-15 minutes of break before the next conference. So thank you, everyone. Very nice to chat with you all. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. Take care.